Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Karibuni tena kwa channel yetu Maths Tutor, na leo tutaangalia this is a different paper. Usione kwa vile logo ziko sawa ama nini, ni similar. It's a different paper. Tutaangalia how to solve this paper from beginning to last. So kama kawaida, kama kawa, kama dawa, tunaanza kusolve hii paper. Alafu kama huja subscribe to the channel and leave a comment, okay, and also follow for more. Weka pale turn on your notification bell in case nikiweza kuweka video yote wewe wa kwanza kuiona pale. Sawa. Question 1. Use mathematical tables to find the reciprocal of 0.0025. Okay, so how do you solve such a question, which is very easy? Reciprocal here 0.025, which you can write it like this: 0.0025 raised to power -1. Hiyo ndo reciprocal, au ukitaka waweza ukaandika hivi reciprocal ya 0.0025. sawa. But now once you've written this, lazima uandike in standard form, which is 2.5 times 10 raised to power -3, kwa sababu point yako kama ni hapa, kama point yako ni hapa, yamaanisha waenda nyuma mara 3, sawa, upate ile 0.0025. So yeah, let me use a blue pen today, which are very unique. So we get something like this, raised, but don't forget to raise to power -1. So obviously the reciprocal of 10 power -3 is going to be +3, because -3 times -1, 2 powers, you usually multiply them. But now what is the reciprocal of 2.5? And that's where our mathematical table comes in. So let's search for the reciprocal of 2.5. This is the reciprocal table. Reciprocal of 2.5. 2.5 ni hii hapa, kama uone na kuonesha, it is 0.4000. Okay, so the answer is 0. Sorry, should we write in here 0.4000? Checking, yeah, it's correct. So if you times it by 10 power 3, it gives you now 4,000 as your answer. Okay, so you can confirm using your calculator the reciprocal of 0.0025, and it's going to give you, why is it? Oh no, it's not 4,000. Sorry for that. Is it? It's not 4,000. It's 400. Sorry for that. So that is your answer, because times 10 power 3 itakuwa enda mara mbili, 1 2 3. Okay, mara tatu, sorry. Now question 2. A sportsman named Kibet won 1,200,000 in a marathon. Hiyo haijapigwa taxation. Ikipigwa taxation hata atapakia na 700,000. Write the amount in index form with base 10. Okay, with base 10. Okay, now you write first in standard form. So utaandika 1.2. Okay, if your point is here, it means that you need to go how many times front? 1 2 3 4 5 6. So mara sita mbele. So this means that you multiply with 10 power 6. Therefore that is your answer. Okay, so this is your answer. Let me just write it here: 1.2 times 10 raised to power 6. Yes, let's go to the other question now. Now simplify, leaving your answer in index form. 3 to the power of 18 divided by 3 to the power of 14. Na hii tunasema if you have different bases, okay, different powers but same base, you subtract the powers, m minus n. So hapa tuko na 3 power 18 divided by 3 power 14, and you need to subtract the powers, that is 18 minus 14. You're going to get 3 raised to power 4, and that is our answer. Now let's go to the other question. Question 4. 3 32 power x minus 1 is equal to 64 raised to power x. Now make both of them, or make 32 and 64 have base 2. So how do you make it? So 32 u divided by 2 gives you 16, divide by 2 gives you 8, divide by 2 gives you 4, divide by 2 again gives you 2, divide by 2 again gives you 1. That gives you 2 to the power of 5. So this one is 2 to the power of 5. Power x minus 1 is equal to 64 power x. So how do you write 64 again? 64 will be written like this: divide by 2, 32, divide by 2, 16, divide by 2 is 8, divide by 2 is 4, then divide by 2, 2, then divide by 2 is 1. So itakupa 2 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 to the power of 6. Na hata si lazima uandike hii yote, you can use your calculator for power. So 2 to the power of 6 raised to power x. Now once we know that, now that is where you multiply. So if you have two powers, basically, especially here, you have 5 and x minus 1. Let's multiply 5 with x minus 1. And then also this one, take this 6 times x, which will give you 6x. Okay, now 5 times x will give you 5x, and 5 times negative 1 will give you negative 5 is equal to 2 power 6x. After that, if the bases are the same, you equate the powers. 5x minus 5 will equate to 6x. Okay, now minus 5 ikienda the other side itakuwa positive, 6x ikienda the other side itakuwa negative. Okay, so which will give you 5x minus 6x is equal to plus 5. Now once we get that, utapata hapa ni negative x, which is equal to 5. Now for us to remove the negative, divide na negative 1, and therefore x is equal to negative 5. So that is our answer. Another question, work out log base 2 32. Sasa hapo wafa ujiulize 2 power ngapi ya kupa 32. That is when you need to write it in index form. So 2 to the power of x is equal to 32. Okay, now we said already that 32 is 2 to the power of 5. Yeah, you can confirm again. 2 to the power of 5 is 32, which is equal to 2 power x. Okay, and therefore if the bases are the same, you equate the powers, and therefore x is equal to 5. So log 32 base 2 is 5 itself. So 2 power 5 yakupa 32. Okay, hopefully that answers our question. Now the other question, the height of a tower is 7.5. Use logarithm tables to find log 7.5 base 10, which is quite easy, to be fair. Now go to the log tables. Now let's find log 7.5. Very easy, by the way. Log base 10, 7.5. Log tables, I think is supposed to be beginning. This is the natural signs. These are anti-logs here. Okay, 7 point, this is the log tables, 7.5. Now this is 7.5, this is 0.8751. So the log of this is 0.8751. So that is our answer. Now, but what if you have another question like this? Use logarithm tables to evaluate this type of question. Okay, now this is where we draw number and standard form, and also the log. This is number, this is standard form, and this is the log part. Okay, now obviously the first number that you see here is 0.0452. Standard form is going to be 4.52 times 10 power negative 2. Now if you search for the log of that number, you need to start with bar 2 kwa sababu ya ile power ambayo ni negative 2, and therefore utaenda pale kwa 4 figure table utatafuta log ya 4.52. log ya 4.52, 4.5 and 2, that is 0.6551, 6551, andika 2.6551. The next one is times 263, number 263. Now 263 tuliopata, tutaandika standard form which is 2.63 times 10 power 2. So utaanza hapa na 2 point something, waenda watafuta 2.63, 2.63 which is 0.4200, ewe 0.4200. Okay, that is the second one done. Now once we do that, obviously kwa vile kuna multiplication, we are multiplying, upande wa log yafaa to add. Obviously if you multiply it gives us an answer. Upande wa log twafaa to add. Okay, so add this one, hii itakuwa 1, 5 plus 2 is 7, 6 plus 4 is 10. If you add, itabidi carry 1 hapa, so 1 plus negative 2 which is 1 minus 2 is supposed to be minus 1, and minus 1 plus 2 is supposed to be just 1. So yeah, upande wa numerator tumepata hiyo. So we come to the denominator, and let me just if you may, let me write here another one, number standard form, and then log. Obviously the answer to the first one tulipata ni, let me just write it here, 1.0751. For the other one, is 1.456. Standard form yake ni 1.456 times 10 power 0. So you start with 0 point something. So utaenda hapa tutafuta log ya 1.456, 1.45 and 6, which is here. So 1.45 is 1614, and 6 is sorry, that's not 6, that's 5, and 6 is 18 plus 18. So 1614, let me write here 1614 add to 18, and it should give us 12 plus 1, 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3, so it gives us 1632. So the answer to here is 1632. Now the answer that you get, because it's division and you're dividing, you need to subtract on the part of log side. So subtract it. So 1 minus 2 haiwezekani, itabidi to borrow 1 from 5 to give you 4. Okay, so 11 minus 2 will give you 9, and 4 minus 3 is 1, that is 4. 7 minus 6 is 1. Okay, now 0, you cannot subtract it with 1, and therefore you need to borrow it from 1. So 10 minus 1 is 9, and this gives 0.9119. But is that the answer? No. After multiplying and dividing, we need to find, after getting that answer, we need to cube root it, or raise to power a third. So wafaa upige power a third hapa, na ikiwa ni power a third yamaanisha on the right side itakuwa ni times 1/3. Now this is quite easy, not that hard. So ukichukua 0.9119 divide by 3 or times 1/3 is supposed to give you 0.3039. Okay, it's supposed just to give you 0.3040. Okay, so is that our answer? No. We need, after doing that, we need to find the antilog. So we need to find the antilog of 0.3040, in which equal in a form of mathematical table. So 0.3030, this is 30, this is 4, so 0 is a 0, this is just that one. So the answer is 2.014. So hapa itakupa 2.014 as our answer. Okay, so that is our answer. Now let's go to this question. The classroom floor has an area of 6x squared plus 17x plus 12. Factorize the expression to determine its possible length and width. So we need to find we need to factorize this. Obviously we'll use sum and product. So our sum is basically the one which is at the middle, which is this 17. So sum is 17. Our product is basically the one at the beginning and the end. So this times this. So 12 times 6 is supposed to give you 72. So our product is 72. Now, which two numbers, if I add, gives me 17? If I multiply, gives me 72. Those two numbers that I can think of is just 9 and 8. Because 9 plus 8 gives you 17, and 9 times 8 gives you 72. So that means that you'll write it this way. So yamaanisha hiyo 17x, you'll divide it into 9x and 8x. That's 12. Now, the next step is you factorize. Factorize this, factorize this. Now, the common factor in the first group is 3x. So into brackets is going to be 2x plus 3. The common factor in the second group is 4, not x, but 4. And you'll get 2x plus 3 as well. So you'll put it together, and therefore you'll get this as your answer. You'll get 3x plus 4 into bracket 2x plus 3. Zile za nje utazileta pamoja. No, you just write this once, don't write it twice. So you get something like this. Now basically length yako si ati ni answer ambao ni number uliambiwa. So our length, our most probable length, it is this, because the length is usually the longest side. So most probably this is going to be the length. So this is 3x plus 4, and our width is the shortest side, and most probably is going to be 2x plus 3. So those are your answers. That question is very tricky. In case you didn't understand it, just be very keen when answering such a question. A prime number is divisible only by 1 and itself. List all the prime numbers between 60 and 70. Now, if I look at it, nearly all numbers are not prime numbers. So the only numbers that are usually divisible by 1 in itself is 61 and 67. So those are the only ones. But you can find out, I don't know why is it 3 marks, but you can search like 62 is not a prime number. If you start with 60 even, it's not a prime number. 61 is a prime number. 62 is not, because you can divide by 2. You can divide by, you can divide by 2, 1 in itself, so it's not a prime number. 63 also is not a prime number. You can divide by 3, by the way, itself, and 1. If you look at 64, also anything that is usually a even number. So if you count like 64, is an even number. 66, 65 can be divided by 5, so it's not a prime number. 66 is an even number. 67 cannot be, it's just it's a prime number because you can divide it by 1 in itself. You don't have any other number. 68 is not. 69 is not even a prime number. So, and also 70 is not a prime number. So you just left with 61 and 67 at the end of the day. So those are your answers. Now Amina stored 210 kg of maize, 385 kg of beans, 150 kg of rice, and 25 kg of millet. I'll classify the total mass as either prime or composite. So you need to add all of these things. So you take 210 plus 385 plus 150 plus 25. So let's add them all. So this will give you something like this. 5 plus 5 is 10, 8 plus 2 is 10, 10 plus 5 is 15, plus 2, 17, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7. But you can use your calculator also to confirm whether it is correct or not. 210 plus 385 plus 150 plus 25, so it gives you 770. Now, is this a prime number? No, this is not a prime number. Why? Because it ends with 0 and most probably is an even number, and all even numbers, by the way, are are not prime numbers except 2. But 770 is an even number because you can divide by 2, you can divide by 5, you can divide more than 2 factors. So that's not a prime number. If it's not a prime number, then it means that it's the opposite of prime number, which is composite number. So 770 is a composite number. Hope that answers the question. Now, if you get something like this, where I don't know why the questions are very easy nowadays, express 98 out of 14 in its simplest form. Now, obviously, let's start to divide by 2. Divide by 2 is going to give you 47. No, 98 divided by 2 is 49. Over 7, and then still divide by how am I getting this? Okay, and then still divide by 7, obviously, because 7 goes into 49 7 times, so your answer is 7. Oh, that is why it's only 1 mark. By the way, you can use a calculator for this, but oh no, now we've already answered it. Okay, triangle DEF is similar to triangle XYZ. In triangle DEF, side DE is equal to 6 centimeter, DF is equal to 9 centimeter. The angle at D is 40, the angle at E is 60, and the angle at F is 80. Now in triangle XYZ, the side XY is 12 centimeter, the angle at X is 40, the angle at Y is 60, and angle Z is 80. So if you look at it, it validates our statement. But wait a minute, it's saying angle at Z. The angle at Z, is there any Z really? I'm just like seeing PQR. Okay, the one here below is drawn inaccurately, so that I don't need to use that. But this one, I've just drawn it accurately now. Now, this triangle is similar. The reason why it's similar is because this angle is equal to this angle. Okay, this angle is also equal to this angle. This angle is also equal to this angle. So all angles are the same. So by definition of these are similar triangles. Triple A means pair of angles are same. So now you've been asked to find xz, which is this one. Okay, which is this. This is your xz. How do you find xz? Right. Now let's find something called linear scale factor. So how do you get linear scale factor? Now there are similar sides. The similar sides are, this one is similar to this one. Okay, let me just write here. So that is similar to that one. So it means that side xy divided by ed or de, let me just write it de, okay, gives you the linear scale factor. So xy divided by de, which is 12 divided by 6, gives you 2. So having your answer 2 means that the larger triangle is 2 times bigger than the smaller triangle. The larger triangle being this, the smaller triangle being this. So this larger triangle is bigger than the smaller triangle by 2. Now, if you want to get the answer of xz, okay, especially you want to get the side xz, what do you do? Because xyz is bigger by 2, you take the side which is similar to it, and the side which is similar to it from the first triangle is this one. So that is df. So you take df, you take 2 times the df, because df is 2 times bigger than xz. So df is 9. So you take 2 times 9, and your answer is going to be 18 centimeter. And that is our answer. Now, express the reciprocal of 9 over 25 as a decimal. Now, 9 over 25, reciprocal of 9 over 25, by definition, or let's write it like this, is going to be 25 over 9. Okay. Now, you can use a calculator, by the way. I don't see the answers, because already you guys are from grade 10. So, but if you want, you can do this. 25 divided by 9. 9 goes into 25 2 times. Subtract 18 and gives you 7. And you still you add 0, and then you add a decimal point. 9 goes into 70. 6 times or 7 times, 7 times, giving you 63 minus, again you get 77, you get this way, and then again minus 63, you get 7, so it's going to be recurring. So at the end of the day, your final answer is going to be 2.7 recurring. So that is the answer to that question. But in case you can still do using a calculator, 25 divided by 9 is going to give you 2.777, which is recurring. Okay, hope that answers the question. So yeah, now let's head into the next question. Now, Zawadi traveled 512 kilometers in 8 hours to visit relatives. Express distance and time as a product of prime factors and use division law of indices to find speed. So leave answer in index form, okay, which is somehow very intriguing. Now, for us to get speed, we need to take distance over time. That is speed. But before that, we need to write 512 in as products of prime factors and also 8 hours. So 512 product of prime factors. If you divide by 2, 512 divided by 2, going to give you 256. Divide by 2 again, going to give you 128. Divide by 2 again, 64. Divide by 2, 32. Divide by 2 is going to give you 16. Divide by 2 is going to give you a lot of numbers. 8. Divide by 2, 4. Divide by 2, 2 and 2. So it gave us how many numbers as 2? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that is 9. So 512 can be written as 2 to the power of 9. Then what about 8? Okay, 8 is 2 to the power of how much? 8 is just basically, I think, 2 to the power of 3. And you don't need to do all of this factor 3. But if you want, you can do it. So you can write here 8 is divided by 2 is 4, divided by 2 is 2 and 2. So this is just basically 2 to the power of 3. So 8 is 2 to the power of 3. So 8 is 2 to the power of 3. Now we need to get distance over time. Distance was 512 divided by time, which is 8 hours. But now 512 was you rewrote it as 2 to the power of 9, and 8 hours you rewrote it as 2 to the power of 3. Now we said if you're dividing, you subtract the powers. So just likewise here, the bases are the same. We just subtract the powers. Just take 9 minus 3. It's going to give us 2 to the power of 6. That is our answer. Question 15. Solve for x and y to the power of 3x divided by 2 to the power of y is equal to 256. And the other equation is 34. Is that 34? That is not 34. That is supposed to be 3 power 4x. Okay, but wait a minute before we engage here. Leave your answer in the x form. Okay, it's correct. Now this is a very easy question, but now let's make this 256 base 2 and 81 as base 2. But you can do this 256. You can divide by 2. So 256 divided by 2 gives you 128. Divided by 2 gives you 64. Divided by 2 again gives you 32. Divided by 2, 16. Divided by 2, 8. Divided by 2, 4. Divided by 2, 2, and then divided by 2 again. It should give you 1. So 2 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is 2 to the power of 8. But you don't need to do all of this. If you have a calculator, you can just confirm 2 to the power of 8, 2 to the power of something. And at the end of the day, you'll find out that 2 to the power of 8 will give you 256. So yeah, so we rewrite this 2 to the power of 3x divided by 2 to the power of y is equal to 2 to the power of 8. Okay, and how about 81? Now 81, write it as a base 3. So this becomes 3 power 4x times 9 power y can be written as 3 power squared. Then there's another y, there's a y there, so because 3 squared gives you 9, so 2 times y will give you 2y. 81. Now 81 will give you divide by 3 till the end. Okay, so divide by 3, 27, divide by 3 is 9, divide by 3 is 3, divide by 3 is 3, so that gives you 3 to the power of 4. So this is 3 to the power of 4. Now after that, this you continue. Now because it's division, we normally say if the bases are the same, you subtract the powers. So you're supposed to be subtracting. In the first equation, you take 3x minus y is equal to 2 power 8. And for the second equation, since it's multiplication, you add the powers. You're supposed to add 4x and 2y. So it's going to be 2 power 4x plus 2y, which is equal to, that is 3, sorry. 3 power 4x plus 2y, which is equal to 3 power 4. Now, if the bases are the same, in the first equation, the bases are the same. So you just equate the powers. So you take 3x minus y is equal to 8. And the second equation is 4x plus 2y is equal to 4. Now that is the first, and this is the second equation. Now what do you do? Times 4 times 4. Okay, now this is the first, this is the second equation. Now what we do is, because this is the first and this is the second simultaneous equation, so what we do, we remove the x. And how do you remove the x? Since here we have 4 utapeleka 4u, and since here we have 3 utaipeleka chini, and therefore 4 times 3x will give you 12x minus 4y. You multiply each number by 4, and 8 times 4 would give you 32. Okay, 3 times 4x is 12x, 2 times 3y is plus 6y, which is equal to 4 times 3, which is 12. Now subtract this, because they have the same signs, positive, positive, so same sign, subtract. So 12x minus 12x is 0, minus 4x minus 6y, minus 4y minus 6y will give you minus 10y, which is equal to 32 minus 12, which is 20. So the next step, obviously, minus 10y is equal to 20 divided by minus 10 divided by minus 10. Y is going to be negative 2. That is y. But do you know our x value? Now going back to the first equation, which is this one, we say that 3x minus y is equal to 8, but you can use any, if you want, you can use the second equation, though I just rubbed it off right now. So we know that y is negative 2. So where there's y, we'll replace it with negative 2. So it's going to be minus negative 2. Remember, our y is negative 2, but the sign behind it wasn't removed. It's still there. So it's equal to 8. So minus minus becomes plus. So it's going to become 3x plus 2. And if you push 2 to the other side, it's going to be minus 2. So it'll remain with 3x to be equal to 8 minus 2. So 3x is equal to 6. Okay. So now once we get this 3x to be equal to 6, you divide by 3 and you divide by 3, and therefore x is equal to 2. So this is the second answer. So y is equal to negative 2, x is equal to 2. Very easy. Now Mutiso, owns a rectangular farm with area x squared minus 6x plus 9 factorized to find the length of one side. Okay, factorized to find the length of one side. So x squared minus 6x plus 9. So we factorize now. Our sum is basically the one in the middle. So we say that this is our sum. So this is our sum. And our product is just 9 for now, because the coefficient for x squared is just 1. So we don't need to find that one. So our sum is negative 6. Our product is basically 9. So which two numbers, if I add, gives me negative 6? If I multiply, gives me 9. Those two numbers are -3 and -3. So since the coefficient for x squared is 1, you can just rewrite it this way, very easy way. Since you know the factors is -3 -3, you write it as x minus 3 and x minus 3. So the length of one side is just x minus 3. Basically, this is a square, though it's just written, it's a rectangle, but it's a square. So the length is x minus 3. Also, the other side is also x minus 3. But now for the question, it's just been told factorize to find the length of one side, which is x minus 3 meters. Now, this is another question. A bus covered 360. By the way, in case you didn't, you haven't understood about quadratics, if you haven't understood about quadratics, indices, go and watch my videos. I think I'll pin it at the end of this video. You'll see it above. So, or there's like a thingy here. I don't know. There's a thingy like this. So in case you're seeing it right now, just click on that thingy, and it will direct you to the playlist of grade 10. Papers. I think papers. For now, it's papers. No, let me just no, it will direct you to mark papers. At the end of the video, you'll see like a pin somewhere. You'll see it. So just go to that playlist and watch all those videos. I'll be posting other topics. Just that I didn't get the time, but I'll be posting other topics, especially similarity, enlargement, and etc. Also reflection. Now, a bus covered 360 kilometers at the speed of v kilometers per hour. Now, if you traveled 15 kilometers per hour faster, it will take 1.5 hours less. Now, we know that speed is equal to distance over time. So for the fast speed, which is represented by S1, the distance is just 360. So it takes 360. We're given, by the way, speed. We know that time is equal to distance over speed. So for the time 1, which is the bus, obviously, is going to take 360 divided by speed, which is v kilometers per hour. But if we travel 15 kilometers per hour faster, it's going to be 360 divided by v plus 15, because you're taking 15 kilometers per hour faster. So this will give you hours. This will also give you hours. They're telling you it will take 1.5 hours less. So it will take 1.5 hours less. So this means what? If you take 360 over v minus by the 1.5, is going to give you 360 over v plus 15. Okay. Now the next step, obviously, is quite easy. We multiply by the LCM of this and this. But let me do this. Let me bring this to this side and also this one to this side, so that it becomes easy. So you get 360 over v minus 360 over v plus 15 is equal to positive 1.5. Now, after doing that, let's multiply this with the LCM, and the LCM of all of these things are we'll multiply here with v times v plus 15. That's the LCM. Here also v times v plus 15, and also here is going to be v times v plus 15. Okay, so this and this will cancel out, and therefore it just remain with 360 times v plus 15. This and this will cancel out, and therefore just remain with minus 360 times v, which is minus 360v. This one will not cancel out. This one will become v squared. This thing will become v squared plus 15v, because v times v is v squared, v times 15 is 15v. So you'll take 1.5 times v squared plus 15v. So 1.5 times v squared plus 15v. Now let's open up. 360 times v gives you 360v. 360 times 15 will give you 5,400 and minus 360v. This one will give you 1.5 v squared plus 15 times 1.5 is going to be 22.5 v. So this is 22.5 v. Now let's bring this, let's collect the like terms. This and this will cancel out. So you just remain with 5,400, which is equal to 1.5 v squared plus 22.5 v. Bring this together. If you bring this together, it should be something like this. 1.5 v squared plus 22.5 v is equal to 5,400. So yeah, now bring 5,400 to the other side of the equation, and if you bring it to the other side of the equation, rewrite it like 1.5 v squared plus 22.5 v minus 5,400 is equal to 0. Sorry for that. 20.5 divided by 1.5. Okay. 5,400. I'm trying to prove something. Okay, now let's remove the 1.5 by dividing by 1.5 divided by 1.5 divided by 1.5, so that we can simplify the expression, and therefore you're going to get v squared plus 2.5 divided by 1.5 gives you plus 15v minus 5,400 divided by 1.5 is 3,600 is equal to 0. Now our sum is basically 15 because this is a quadratic equation now, and our product is negative 3,600. So which two numbers, if I add, gives me 15, and if I multiply, gives me negative 3,600. Now if I look at this carefully, I think you can solve it using sum product, so it's going to be very hard. I think it's because it's going to give you a decimal, so and therefore we use what do you call it, quadratic formula. So minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac. Hopefully you all know quadratic formulas. So your a here is 1, your b is 15, and your c is negative 3,600. Now minus b plus or minus b will be minus 15. B squared will be obviously 15 squared. Let me just write this here down. So minus b will be minus 15. Okay, plus or minus b squared will be 15 squared minus 4 times 1 times c, negative 3,600, divided by 2a, which is just 2 times 1, which is 2. So 15 squared minus 4 times negative 3,600 is going to give you 14,625. So all of this is 14,625. So it's going to be minus 15 plus, can be minus. The reason why it can be minus is because this is a speed. You don't have a speed which is negative unless it's velocity. So you just write the plus sign only. So you just have the value for, this is v by the way. So you just have value for positive numbers. So root of 1625 is going to give you 120.93 divided by 2. Minus 15 plus 120.93 divided by 2 is going to give you 52.965. So this is 52.965. So I don't have space here. Let me just write it somewhere here. So our v, which is our velocity, is 52.965. Okay, so that's the velocity of that car. Okay, of the bus. So the original speed is 52.965. Speed is 52.965 kilometers per hour. Hope that answers the question. Okay. And the teacher wrote a certain mathematical exercise on the interactive board. Use it to answer question 18. Now you're seeing it here. So yeah, so as you see, element n, and then we have ABC. So those are two figures. Now what's the question saying? I don't see the question. Oh, hence, so you've been shown that triangle ABC in figure 11.23 is similar to triangle LMN in figure 11.22 below. Hence, find the values of x and y. X and y. Okay. Now let's do this. Now this side is this side. So this one here. So this one is this one. So this. So we say that AC is similar to ln. Right. That's one thing that we know. Now, obviously, this is, if this is 55, this is 75. What does that mean? So I'm just trying to check out 180 minus. Yeah, it's going to give you same also, which is 50. So in short, this is very easy now. This is also 50. This means that this and this are similar. Okay, and this one, which is 55 or so, this one is similar to this one here. Now let's continue. Now let's find the linear scale factor. The linear scale factor is gotten through this and this. That is, you take AB divided by LM because they are similar. So AB, which is 5, divided by 2, you're going to get 2.5, which is 2.5. So it means that the linear scale factor is 2.5. So it means that this is 2.5 times larger. Okay, so if you want to get the smaller one, obviously, if you want to get the smaller one from the bigger one, you divide. If you want to get the big one from the smaller one, you multiply. Now we want to get x. We want to get x and we want to get y. For us to get x from 4, because this and this are similar, you need to multiply because this is the smallest, this is the largest. So you take 4 times the linear scale factor, which is 2.5. So let me just write it here. For us to get AC, we need to take 4 times ln. So 4 times 2.5 is 10. So this gives you 10. So our AC is 10 centimeters. So our x value already found out is 10. And how about our mn? Our mn, we know that BC is 4 times mn. If you divide by 4, it means that for us to get mn, mn is a quarter of BC. Now, what is our BC? Our BC is 7.5 times a quarter of it, or divide by 4, it gives you mn. So 7.5 divided by 4 is 1.875 centimeter. So that is your answer. That's the value of y as well. So this is the answer. This is also your answer. Okay, I did a little bit of mistake for the second one. Sorry for that. Sorry, I think you've realized this. Now BC is 2 of mn, 2.5 of mn, because we found out our linear scale factor is 2.5. So it's 2.5 mn. I just confused this with the other one. But this one also is supposed to be 2.5 of ln. Sorry for that. So yani marambili na nusu. So it's 2.5 times of ln. That is why it gave me 10 centimeters, because I took 2.5 times 4. So this one also. So if you want to get mn, you need to divide by 2.5, divide by 2.5. So mn 1 divided by 2.5 is how much? 2.5 is 0.4. So it's mn is going to be 2 over 5 of BC. Okay, so 2 over 5 of BC, it means you take 2 over 5 times BC, which is 7.5, and let's see how it gives us. 7.5 times 2 over 5 is going to give you 3. So basically mn is 3 centimeter. But in case this one confuses you, then basically it's easy. We know that linear scale factor. How do you get linear scale factor? You take BC divide by mn. So that gives you linear scale factor. So our BC, which we know, which is 7.5, divided by our mn, which is y we don't know, is equal to 2.5. 2.5 is 5/2. Yes, 5/2. So cross multiply there. So y times this will give you 5y. 7.5 times 2 gives you 15. Divide by 5, divide by 5, and therefore y is equal to 3. That's also another way. Okay, let's try this question out. On a graph triangle, ABC has coordinates A 2, 2, 4, 4, and C 6, 2. Find the coordinates after enlargement scale factor of 2 about center 1, 1. Okay, now let's draw that triangle first. A is 2, 2, so it should be somewhere here. B 4, 4, which should be here, and that is A. This is B, and then we have C 6, 2, which should be here. So that is C. Now let's connect those lines. Hopefully I can connect them. Let me connect this to this. The line is very, very thick. What happened again? The line is thick. The line is very thick. Thinking of another one. So let me do this. Let me wrap this. Let me just connect it using this. Somehow very hard nowadays. Okay. Let me just connect it to this. So A, B, C, and this one. So I just connected. Don't have a ruler for that, but all in all, I thought, no, why not connect it this way? So that's our ABC. Then, but no, it's look unprofessional. So this one, and this way. Which is good. And this one. Let me just delete this. It seems that's enough. So this is A, this is B, and this is C. Now for the other part, we've been told that find the coordinates after the enlargement scale factor 2. Center is 1, 1. Our center is 1, 1, which is here. This is our center of enlargement O. And now we've been just told to find the coordinates after enlargement scale factor. So yeah, very easy. So this will be 1. That's center 1. And let me use another color because this is very hard. So this one will be 1. This will be 1 and 2. Okay, and therefore this will be A prime. So that's a scale factor of 2. And then we go to another line, do the same thing. From here to B is 1. So that means that is 1. So it means those are, because you want 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you went up 3 times. So it means you need to go again 5 times. Then 3 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then here So your line should be extending. Let me extend this line. Not this one. Let me extend this to 2 line. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then going up 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So it should be scale factor of 2 should be till there. Now this is B prime. Then how about this one? From the scale factor here to C now. But most probably, I think by now you've understood how to get this. So from A to C is how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it should be 2 times 8 times 2 be 6. So from A prime to C prime is 8 times 2 is 16. So it should be 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So this is where your C prime is going to be, and connect them. Let's now connect this A prime to C prime. Okay, and let's connect the other one, B prime to C prime. Okay, and let's connect A prime to B prime. So that is your triangle which is drawn here. So it's going to be A prime, B prime, C prime. So the coordinates will be, let's see, for A prime is going to be 3, 3. For B prime is going to be 7, 7. And for C prime is going to be 11, 3. Okay, and I think that is our answer right now. That's 2. Yeah, that's our answer currently. So those are our answers. Again, let's continue to work it out. Okay, question 20. A poster is enlarged from 10 centimeter to 25 centimeter. The larger poster has an area of 1250 centimeter square. Find the area scale factor. Okay, now area scale factor is linear scale factor squared. So first we need to find linear scale factor. And linear scale factor is basically when you take 25 divided by 10, the larger one divided by the smaller one. So it gives you 2.5 centimeter. Okay, linear scale factor, we take the distance of the larger one divided by the distance of the smaller one, but you can take any, you can start with any. But for now, we'll use this 25 over 10. So once we know that is 25 over 10, 25 over 10 gives us 2.5. We square it because area scale factor, we say linear scale factor squared. So 2.5 squared give you our area scale factor. So 2.5 squared is basically 6.25. So that is our area scale factor. Find the area of the smaller poster. Okay, now the area of the larger poster is 1200. Okay, so if you want to get area scale factor, we usually take the area of the larger poster divided by the area of the smaller poster. So the area of the larger poster is 1250 divided by the smaller poster, which we don't know, which is equal to the linear scale area scale factor, which is 6.25. So we remove the x by multiplying x and x to this side, and therefore this cancels out, so it won't be there anymore. And 6.25 times x gives you 6.25x. Now let's divide by 6.25, divide by 6.25, and therefore x is equal to 1250 divided by 6.25. It gives you 200. So 200 centimeter square is our answer. Now question 21, list all prime factors of 144. Question B, 90, 343, and 1331. Now the easiest way here is this way. You can draw a factor tree. So 144. So divide by 2 gives you how much? 72. It gives you 72. 2. Again 36. 2. 18. 2. 9. 2. And 3 and 3. So your prime factors for this case is going to be 2 power 4 times 3 squared. Okay. For 90 also the same case. So for 90 we'll do the same thing. So we take 90 divided by 2, 45. By the way, this is somehow very lengthy. I can do it this way. 90 can be divided into 9 and 10. Then 10 can be divided into 2 and 5. 9 can be divided into 3 and 3. So obviously this is going to be 2 times 3 power 2 times 5. That's also another way that you can solve it. You see that it's very simple. So this the answer to this is 2 times 3 squared times 5. The answer to this is 2 power 4 times 3 squared. Okay. Now for 343, I'll use the shortcut way, but you can, if you want to opt, you can do this way, that the one that I told you at the beginning. So 343 divided by 3, 343 divided by 343 you can divide by 7 to give you 49 and 7, and then divide by 7 again to give you 7 and 7. So this is 7 cubed. For the final one, 1331. So let me use here 1331. 1331. This is 1331. You can divide by 11 only. So 1331 divided by 11 going to give you 121, and divide by 11 again to give you now 11 cubed. So 11 times 11 times 11, which is just 11 cubed. 5,000. Whoa, 5,000. For 5,000, let me use the simple way. 5,000. Okay. Let's use this way. Let's say you can divide, you can branch it into 150. Okay, and the 50 you can also branch it into 2 and 25, and the 25 you can do it this way, 5 and 5. For the 100 you can branch it into 10 and 2, and the 10 you can branch it into 5 and 2. So you just pick up the prime numbers only. Okay, that's the simplest way. So this will give you 2. How many 2's do you have? Start with the smallest. 2 cubed, 2 times 2 times 2, and 5 cubed. Look at it, it's very easy, rather than doing that long process which will take time. Okay, question 22. Simplify and classify as rational or irrational. Okay, now classify this one as rational or irrational. Square root of 2.25 gives you 1.5. So, and therefore this this one is rational number. So you don't need to think twice. Now for the other one, square root of 500 gives you a lot of decimals. It gives you a lot of decimals. It gives you around 22.36069, and it continues, by the way. So basically this is going to be irrational, and you don't know the pattern to this type of answer. Square root of 18 also, is it the same thing? It gives you 4.2426. Obviously this is going to be irrational as well. Irrational, because it has a lot of decimals which you can't predict. Square root of 45, square root of 45 will give you the same thing, which is also irrational. Going to give you a lot of numbers, which is continuing as well. 6.7082039 can continue. Square root of 0.4096. This one gives you 0.64. At least this one is rational. So it's rational because it has an end to the decimal. Okay, so hopefully that answers our question. Okay, use mathematical tables to find reciprocals of 5.89 and then 999. So the reciprocal of 5.89, which is very easy to find. Let's go to the math table. Reciprocal table is the this is square roots. Hopefully below it is going to be reciprocals. Square roots still. So this is cubes. Reciprocal is about squares and square roots. So yeah, this is reciprocals. Now reciprocal of 5.89, 5.89. So that gives you 0.1698. So that is 0.1698 as our answer. So that is very simple. You don't need to write it in standard form as well. For the other one is 999. This one you need to write it in standard form because numbers should be from 1 to 9.99. Okay, so write as 9.99 times 10 raised to power 2, reciprocal of that. So reciprocal of 10 power 2 is 10 power negative 2. And reciprocal of 9.99, let's see how much it gives us. 9.99 is 0.1001. So 0.1001. Am I correct? Yeah. Is it correct? Yep. I'll confirm here. So the answer to that 0.1001 times 10 power negative 2 is going to be 0.001001. So that is the answer. Question C, obviously the same thing. Write it in standard form is going to be 4.3 times 10 power. Ovile decimal yako power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 power negative 6. Reciprocal yake. Reciprocal of same power negative 6 is going to be power positive 6 now. Now let's search for the reciprocal of 4.3. Here, 4.3 is this one, 0.2326. 0.2326. So if you multiply to 10 power 6, it's going to give you 2326, and then add the other two zeros here, and that is our answer. Okay, I think that is the end of this session and the END. So again, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and in case you have a Form 4 student, then kindly share my number to him in case he needs private tutoring. You guys know Form 4s. You can recommend me to Form 4 students. And again, someone said I should start with grade 10 private tuitions. I think, yeah, I might need to start with that as well. So inshallah, billahi tawfiq, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.